that's not useful.
Congratulations is to a word. What are you talking about, Google?
I know. It didn't recognize it. So yeah, literally I went to go in the show notes. I was going to do the have you heard about the and I'm like, no, I'm just going to literally put the insert Final Fantasy meme here. As as the line in the show note.
Have you heard the award winning?
Oh, do you want me to actually spell it out, or do you want me to say insert Final
I think
Fantasy?
it's funnier with insert.
Okay.
I want you.
Okay. You want me to literally say what's there?
Exactly, because it's just it's my snarky sense of humor.
Yay!
All right.
Wait.
Wait. Can you hear Tet?
Real
okay.
soft,
Turn yourself up, love.
Well, hang on. That's not good.
And Mailong has disappeared into a Thanos snap. There he is.
Thank you, Seema.
Okay, why is this so quiet? Hang on.
You are too quiet.
Is that it? No, that's no better. How do I increase the level on the stupid microphone in Windows 10? I hate this.
I hear you just fine, though.
Want to say hi, Max?
Yeah, but why would Max hear me quietly? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Oh.
But no,
does your voice not carry to the central time zone?
It could be. Hang on, let me just double check. But you guys can hear me fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why? But no, I'm looking at the meters and I'm coming in quiet. I see what Max is saying. All right. Let me do this. Is that any better, Max? Max the Gray, paging Max the Gray or Seema.
Nope. Oh, just got better.
Just got better? Doo-da. Okay.
Little. Okay. And hey, Dex, would you mind giving us a sound check too since we're on comms?
How does this sound?
How's it sounding, folks?
He says to double it. Double the ducks.
I know what it is. Hang on, where's that? Levels. There it is.
Type of.
Okay.
Yay!
It's like a type of. Sounds like a type of jump rope. Double ducks.
Or what I'd like when I go out to eat. I really like duck.
Okay, one more. Turn that back down. There we go. How's that, Max and Seema? Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, I finally figured out where to turn it up. So, and if Dux is a little soft, I'll bring it up in post processing, or rather, the automation will. I have automation.
Right. You have the technology, and you're not afraid to use it.
Nope.
All right. Shall we do this?
Sure.
Going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On this episode of the AIE Podcast.
Congratulations to Gusty.
New world emerges this week.
Friday night is all right for Mega.
Insert Final Fantasy 14 meme here.
Mm-hmm. And we have Mailong and Dux who are here to talk to us about AIE in Lord of the Rings Online.
Welcome. All that and more coming up now.
Bringing you the latest news from the AIE gaming community from planet Earth and beyond. This is the AIE Podcast.
Welcome to episode 374 of the podcast celebrating you, the Alea Octa S gaming community. The Die Has Been Podcast. I am Makala. To my left and 2 states over is Mewcow.
Greetings, guilties.
And to my right, downstairs and a smidge over, is Tetsemi.
I realize I live in Phoenix, but how come there are 2 6s in the temperature and that's water falling from the sky?
Well, honey, sometimes Mother Nature gives us a gift.
Yes, she does.
This week, we are joined by our very special guests, Maylong and Dux, who are here to talk to us about AIE and Lord of the Rings Online. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Awesome to have you. So, we're going to go ahead and do the news and all that in a few minutes, but I want to know what you all have been up to, and I'm fond of going alphabetically, so I'm so sorry to do this to you, Dux, putting you right on the spot. What have you been up to in and out of game?
Been playing Valheim lately, which I'm loving. And then just with games in general, running Aliens, Colonial Marines operations,
Ooh,
Fun.
and a D&D 5th in Middle-earth.
nice.
Oh, awesome.
So not using MERPs, but actual D&D.
I use the MERPS books for like setting and details,
Right.
Uh-huh.
and then I go into 5th edition for a rule set.
Nice.
There's a lot of really great 5th edition conversions out there. So I know there's also a Star Wars 5th edition conversion as well.
Yeah.
Makes a lot, and considering the fact that, Lord of the Rings influenced D&D so much, that's a natural.
Yep.
All right. And Mailong, what have you been up to in and out of game? Yes.
Won't talk about what I've been out of game because that's busy.
Yeah.
But in game, on my Monday night ops group in SWOTOR, we have someone new to ops to doing the operations. So we're going through the story mode stuff, trying to get her familiar with the operations and get her caught up and get her fully geared before 7.0, which has been really fun. I have been doing virtual dice rolling.
Mhm.
Curse of Strahd group, which we'll be meeting as soon as this podcast is over.
Nice.
And that we did take last month off because someone could not make it.
Yeah.
Real life
Yeah.
interference.
We'll say it was real life interference. We won't mention what really held me up
Okay.
Okay.
Fair
Uh,
enough.
Yeah.
because it's embarrassing to me. So we won't mention it.
Nah, it's all good.
Hey, you're talking to somebody who spent all of May and June not hiking because she broke her wrist, so I get it while hiking. So I understand. Sometimes there's things you just don't want to admit to.
Yep.
Yes. But the other group that I'm in, who's DM'd by DP Roberts, which we meet twice a month, we're doing Lost Mines of Fandover on that one.
That's a
Super
fun. That's
fun.
fun. It's a such a great beginner adventure.
It is, which we did lose one player, which this past week we picked up. Gomez joined us.
Awesome.
So we're running with Gomez. So got his character involved with the group. And when we do combat, it usually lasts a while. But
Yeah.
we'll spend a couple sessions of doing nothing but role play. So it's
I love
super fun.
that. I love that. Awesome. Now, I was gonna say, since you do have game after this, if you guys need to do your stuff before we go into the news, that is completely understandable. Because if anyone understands the need to get to game, it's us.
Well, I figured they can wait for me.
Okay. All right.
You got to have the rogue.
You do, because, well, you do know the purpose of the party is to get the rogue out of their, to keep the rogue from their own stupidity, right?
Exactly. Which
Yeah.
now that I'm level 2 and I have combat action, all that stuff, hey, I'm good.
Yeah.
Nice. Very cool.
I've been playing a lot of Lord of the Rings because I'm streaming now on Friday, Saturday, and Sundays.
Awesome.
which I've been streaming a lot of Lotro because I've been playing on my Bjorning, trying to get my Bjorning up to level 60 because I've been avoiding it for years.
Right.
because I've had this second age legendary weapon for Bjorning for years. Like at some point I'm going to do it, which the reason for the rush we'll go into later on, but just having a lot of fun playing that. And that's all that I've been up to for the most part.
Awesome. All right. Well, Mia, what have you been up to in and out of game?
No, just staring over at chat here. But in real life, much as you've been enjoying the interesting 66-degree weather in Phoenix, apparently that's heading over here. But we've actually had a little bit of pleasant weather before that. It's actually been in the 80s during the day.
Nice.
Which is just and almost, I mean, not quite, Arizona levels of humidity, but low humidity too. So it's been
beautiful,
which is unusual.
Surprisingly,
right?
Yeah. And that's going to end tomorrow because the storm that hitting you or has hit you is going to be coming to visit us on Monday or Tuesday. Yeah. But like actually, reminding ourselves what the outside world like. It's interesting.
Yeah.
With not the outside world with the people part. No, that we avoid that.
No, the outside with the sun and the
pirate ship.
I love the pirate ship.
Yep. And taking our cats out as well because they insist. If we go out there without them, I
love your cats on the damn leashes. It's the funniest thing in the world.
Yes. They have little harnesses that look like a tuxedo, cute. And then they have a leash that ties to the top. And we don't typically hold the leash all that often unless we need to. It's more just if we see them going somewhere they shouldn't, we have an extra chance to stop them. But only one of them will actually walk on the leash. The other one, this one here, Dean, he gets confused. He's like, "What is this thing? Why are you? No, I don't. This doesn't make sense." Otherwise they just explore the outside world. It's fascinating to watch them be out there. And after they've had their fill, they'll just flop over and enjoy the sun.
Very cool.
They can get that direct sun because inside, it's going through UV filters and all that stuff. But that direct sunlight apparently is the really good stuff. But
and they're both black cats, so it's kind of
they
seeping right in.
Yep, they love it. Then in game, mostly of course playing Final Fantasy 14. It's surprising that even though we're supposedly in a content lull, like it still seems like it's getting busier and busier and more crowded. And one of the things that I've actually been kind of glad of, and it was worrying, is with all this influx of new people, are we going to see the community start to change a little? And so far, no. Like the in-place community has been teaching the incoming community this is how things work here,
awesome.
And it's been great to watch. Like it's interestingly enough, I saw if you are familiar with Taliesin and Evital, they were a Blizzard podcast, but now they've branched out. So they actually did an episode on Final Fantasy 14. And Evital was saying that she loves having the sprout on her head, and she says she wants to get it tattooed on herself because it's like this feeling of, oh, you're new to the game. Let us help you. Let us teach you.
Very cool.
And it's that's what I like seeing, that's still alive and well, even if the veterans are in a content lull, they're still fine. Like I was sitting in it's at the usual spot of Limsa Lominsa last night, and just watching the social activities. Like it's just fascinating to watch the comings and goings. It's like sitting in a train station and just watching everyone milling about and chatting, and you'll see advertisements for clubs, dance parties of various sites, RP venues where it's where you can do like a coffee bar or whatever. It's just fascinating what they're doing to keep themselves busy, on top of the years of content you could be doing. But they're doing all this social stuff because we have all these nice houses that people have made up to be whatever they want it to be, and they're just having a grand old role playing times. Speaking of role playing, it's alive and well in this game, so it's fascinating to watch.
Well, it's hard to have people over at your real house, so you might as well have them in your virtual one.
Yep, that's exactly it.
Awesome. All right, Matt, what have you been up to in and out of game?
Well, a number of things. For whatever reason, my brain just said, oh, there seems to be a bunch of bots running amok on Twitch. We've never had problems before, but I'll go ahead and set up SiriBot just just in case. And sure enough, beginning of the show, as soon as we went live, immediately slapped someone out of chat and banned them. And then I looked on Twitter and like everyone's like, yeah, there's a new, it's GUNQ9 now. And like, okay, it's working. So it's ridiculous that we have to rely on people. It's basically a WoW add-on, but a Twitch add-on to do what Twitch should be doing.
Yes.
Well, Nuke and Morbid is the only way to be sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I sit in a couple of different Twitch chats in the evenings because it's kind of like my background noise as I'm doing whatever I'm up to. And I was watching just wave after wave of these bots coming through, and it was just relentless. But having the Seri bot and of course the mods are great out there. They're doing a lot of heavy work right now. But you'll just see them come in. You'll just see a flood of following because that's they're trying to get around all of our attempts to stop them. But in fact, yesterday the bot was overwhelmed because of how hard it was hitting. Like it wasn't able to keep up because every single Twitch channel was being hit by these bots.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're waiting for Twitch to do something about it.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
But I'm glad to know I set it up and it worked.
I got hit by the same bot 3 times last night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Siri worked great.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. So other than having to deal with behind the scenes stuff, I have been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14. I got my Machinist up to level 65. I forgot that storyline from 60 to 70 for Machinist is working with Hilda, who is literally my favorite NPC that's still alive. In the 60 to 70 range. So
right.
I understand why you're having to be so specific.
Yes. Now I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but there is a character that gets killed off in another, and I'm still mad they killed her off. But regardless, so doing that, and then Timberborn came out of. It was a demo. Went back offline for a couple months, now came out as early access, and it's basically a city builder, but in place of humans, it's got beavers, and everything is beaver themed.
That's fun.
It is. So you build, like, part of the thing is you'll have droughts come through, and your only water source is the river. So you have to early on figure out, I need to literally dam up this river to keep my water source here so I can keep the crops growing and the trees alive and that sort of thing. So I have been playing a lot of that because it scratches that sim builder itch without getting overly complicated. It's basically you against the environment as opposed to you against the NPC AIs like in Civilization. So yeah, having a lot of fun with that. And then we did we'll talk about it in just a little bit. We did some WoW mechanics behind the scenes for WoW and WoW Classic, enabled a few things, and just still working on getting everything over to Mom. So doing good. What about you?
Dice.
Mm-hmm.
I was working and planning a Disney trip a friend's Disney trip in October, which means I have my spreadsheet of Disney bounding. A lot of dice. Let's see. Call of Cthulhu Wednesday. We started a second chapter because we got to a point in our first chapter when we reached World War II, and we had to put those characters aside and bring out new characters that are going to see a different part of the adventure, and eventually it's going to kind of mesh. So we all survived the first chapter. Nobody died. However, my buddy James, who plays our pilot, decided that willpower was his dump stat. So, which means you're starting not near as sane as everybody else. Because your willpower equals your starting sanity, so he started like a 40 willpower. So, he's not doing so great. But we were able to blow up a Nazi radio tower to stop the monks at the roof of the world from transmitting information from the Book of the Machine to the Nazis. And we all almost died. Not all of us. Okay, so 2 of us almost died. But my character is a doctor because somehow I now play healers most of the time. No one knows how this happened. And because she's a doctor, she doesn't like to work with guns. She prefers like, if she's going to be in a fight, she wants to use her hands. But we're fighting like these mad monks, these crazy monks, and we're fighting wolves. Which is then when the 2 fighty characters couldn't do crap for somehow. And it really became, as we called it, Inspector No Scope and Dr. Percy the Wolf Slayer.
Nice.
Because our inspector ended up like critting multiple times, and I critted with a 1d4 plus 2 knife multiple times. So it was pretty great. But we got to the first adventure, and we're like, okay, we have the next information. Now we need to go find the next disc. And like our original group, we have one of the discs. So this is what we're seeing these kind of all blend together. So that's that game. Exactly. I'm a doctor, not a shooter. And I'm so glad that you laugh that hard with willpower being a dump stat, because it's hilarious. See, our Star Wars game, so far the current adventure we're on, has lost my character's wife a arm and an eye. No, both eyes. I'm so sorry.
Whoa.
She got blinded by an explosion as we were trying to stop an assassination, and she had gotten her arm cut off by a vibro sword earlier. This has been a really expensive trip because we had taken a bounty, an anonymous bounty. Don't do that. We ended up, of course, saving the guy from the other bounty hunters, and then realized, no, he doesn't need that bounty. No, he's actually a good person. So we literally have made like no money on this adventure.
Sounds like a Bad Batch.
It is exactly Bad Batch. But we're on this planet there's been like an Imperial Imperials causing trouble. We also have like good Imperials that are settlers. But they're going through an election. We found out that because there was assassination. So we are trying to, find out the ISB agent that's causing all the trouble. We found their settlement. She was not there. We took out everybody except for her lieutenant, who we were able to keep alive. We had an ATST for a while. That was fun. So that was a good time. So we're almost done with that mission. And I think our characters are actually going to start exploring this whole force thing that they've discovered that they have. And let's see. Sam's game and SJ's game, we completed the Queen's Cup, which is a little thing we had to do. I was not there for that night. But this week, we went to go meet the Queen at a chapel for her to dispel an issue we've been having that can only be done by her, which then got attacked by Drow and Wraiths and all of that. So mid-fight, oh yes, and they just brought in, we don't quite know what she is, but there was a banshee skull in her, not a chariot, basically a chariot, but it's shaped like a coffin. So we don't know what she is, but she's Drow and she's terrifying. And then some buddies of mine may have talked me into joining a military campaign set in Forgotten Realms 1355, where we're all playing members of the Khmer military, and because it's me, I'm playing a Cleric of Helm.
Of course.
But we actually got a lot of fun because it's our GM, all of us. Michael, who's one of the players, has been all of our DMs in various games. So we might have all taken stuff out on him and given his character a bunch of crap. It was fun.
Nice. I was going to say, so for someone that never liked healing classes,
I know.
5th edition hit, and like every game you're in, you're playing a type of cleric.
No. In our regular Thursday game, I'm playing a rogue, thankfully.
Okay.
And in Sam's game, I'm playing a warlock, but she's a celestial warlock. I
Right,
don't know what's
see?
wrong with me. I do not know what's wrong with me. I
Oh,
once had to be tricked into playing a cleric.
Yeah.
And now it's pretty much all I play. It's weird. All right. So we don't need to go into the psychological downfall of me not playing a cleric. Let's go and get into this week's news.
AIE News.
All right, in community news, we're going to start with the big news of there's a new WoW GM. With Cyrene stepping away from WoW and the WoW officers still needing leadership help there, the WoW director team has asked Gusty to step in and help in that capacity along with the existing GMs of Tetsemi and Ashayo. Gusty's leadership in WoW has been great, and she has more plans on continuing to nurture that community. Please join all of us in congratulating Gusty Koo.
Yup. That is her Discord name. Gusty Koo.
Oh.
Gusty Tail in game or various Gusties.
Yeah. That's the name
Yeah,
of it.
wherever Gusties are found.
Yep. And in Mandatory Fun Nights, we are still in the process of cleaning up some of the MFNs and tightening up the schedule, but this is where we're at right now. STO on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Monday, Guild Wars 2 at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday, SOTOR, 9 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday, Final Fantasy XIV Casual Rating, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Thursday, Final Fantasy XIV Progression Rating at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Friday, Friday ESO, 9 p.m. Eastern. Friday, Final Fantasy Late Night, 11 p.m. Eastern. Saturday, Lord of the Rings, woohoo, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Saturday, Final Fantasy Map Night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And Saturday, New Braid in WoW, 11 p.m. Eastern.
Awesome. And in Guild Podcast news, we have New World Overlord, aka SOTOR Escape Podcast, number 397. Oh my gosh, you guys are almost up to 400?
Yep.
That's awesome. Sorry. Take 5. More levels, that is. The public test server is updated with level 80 plus Sork and Assassin styles. Whew. And in Working Class Nerds, episode 123, live with Corgas. Mark and Nick go live on Twitch with Corgas. Corgas is a longtime friend of the show, real-life friend, and SOTOR Twitch streamer. The three of them talk about Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yay! And of course, all the gaming shenanigans that they're up to. Enjoy! And if you want to find out more about Corgas, they are at twitch.tv/Corgas. Korgass for those who aren't in the show notes.
I think you're seeing extra R's.
You're right. Kogass. Wow,
Yeah.
Kogas, not Korg. I'm so sorry. Dyslexia is fun.
Yeah. It was, at least you're consistent. I'll
Right.
give you that.
All right. Guys, replace Korgas with Kogas.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
Just a little auto edit. All right, over in Fleet Action Report. I always want like an E on the end, so it can be flare.
Yes.
Fleet Action Report episode. Oh, there you go. Episode 63. Equal and opposites. Nicotus and Greebog are looking through the mirror in this episode of the Fleet Action Report. We focus on what you need to know about the new event, focusing on the task force operations, and without going over any spoilers, a brief chat on the new episode and season. Over in Boards and Swords, boardsandswords.com, CMON NFTs. Yes, I know what NFT is. Come on, as in.
I think
on
that,
NFT?
yeah, come on, NFTs. I think that's what they're doing.
We have Warhammer Escalation League and How Are We Doing? Boards and Swords number 181. Chris is up to his eyeballs in painting miniatures. That's someone on the side of his ear. Okay. How did that get there? Board games did well on Kickstarter again, and NFTs coming to board games.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, that explains. Come on. And that certainly explains the title there.
Yeah. Plus, Chris and Philip talk about the past year of the show and where they see it going over the next year.
And in Nomads news, getting ready for New World releasing on 9/28, Tuesday. With all the best laid plans, this may not survive contact with the enemy. However, until such time as we need to pivot, AIE New World will be launching in the US East on the Paralysis server as Syndicate. You will need to join the Syndicate faction to join the community, so make that decision carefully as faction changes are limited. And that happens when you hit level 10, you can join a syndicate or join a faction. We will attempt to secure the company name of Alia Octa Est, but have a few suffixes ready if that's not possible, and we'll post to Discord as soon as they lock it in. Welcome to AIE in New World. And speaking of board games, the next AIE board game night will be October 7th at 7:30 p.m. Central. That's, 8:30 Eastern?
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. We have some increased activity on our board game nights lately, which is great. Come join in the fun.
Awesome. And in WoW news, New Braid news, thanks for the help for the members of WIT/DOA.
Where's the tank?
I'm sorry. Oh, where's the tank? Thank you. My brain is just adding extra letters in everywhere.
You're fine.
Thanks to the members of Where's the Tank and
Dead on Arrival.
Thank you. I'm like, what is that? What it's supposed to DOA, Dead on Arrival. New Braid is now 5 of 10 on the normal sanctum. And again, congrats to Noob for now being normal. Though they're not normal. I know the noobs. They're anything but normal.
Normal's sitting in the dishwasher.
Yep.
It is, and nobody wants to be that. And in WoW Classic, we have purchased the first 2 guild tab banks. Feel free to drop stuff in the second tab that other guildies might find useful, especially crafting materials. The first tab currently will be for bags and other things in limited supply, much like it is in retail WoW.
All right, over in Final Fantasy XIV news, things are looking up for Final Fantasy XIV as we wind down our Shadowbringers adventures and get ready for Endwalker, which starts for early access on November 19th. It's the head start for pre-order, so if you pre-order, you get to jump in early. I mean, if you're playing it, you've probably pre-ordered, so you're starting on that.
Yep.
It's normal. It's November 23rd for normal launch, but who's normal? So
right.
I don't know.
Exactly. Don't be normal.
Although you're at the tail end of the expansion, now is a great time to get started in Final Fantasy XIV. There's a very, very generous trial that works fine on PCs, Macs, PlayStation 4s, and 5s. And while trial accounts cannot join the free company, which is Final Fantasy XIV speak for guild, we can provide a ton of assistance on the Discord server. If or really when you purchase the game, because they're very sure of themselves, there is an exchange of friend codes down on the Discord server in the channel called Final Fantasy XIV friend codes. If you do pick up a friend code, both parties get rewards. So you get something, and the person that gave out the code gets something. Once the code is used, please react to the code with a checkmark to signify that the code has been consumed. If you need an invite to the free company, just ask in the Discord server in Final Fantasy XIV channel. An officer does not need to be specifically online for anyone but member rank or higher. A member rank is a character that has been in Final Fantasy XIV for 30-ish days. You can also, if you can get to Kugane, you can go to the FC house or find an AIE person and you can apply either way. But we'll get you in one way. Also, do you like FC buffs? Do you hate it when they expire? Well, do not despair, as any member can refresh the buffs. Just go into the FC actions in the FC panel and refresh them. Later on, we want to start to provide grade 3 XP buffs over the weekends. Grade 3 means we have to make it with the company workshop, so they take a lot of effort, but they're worth it because they're obviously more powerful. Although we are at the tail end of the expansion, now is a great time to get started. That sounds like it's just repeating itself. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this is. But yeah, come in. It's super busy. It's great to see. As I was saying earlier, there's always something to do. Even if you like to craft, if you like to gather, if you like to chase things down and smack them with a sword, you just want to pretend to be a cat girl and Minsa, there's a space for you there too. So
Yep.
come join.
All right. And in SOTOR news, in Guild news, AIE has captured another planet during the periodic Total
Hey.
Galactic War. Woohoo! Anyone traveling to Makeb B. Why did I say it like that? It's Makeb. Will be greeted by an in-game banner proclaiming Makeb is controlled by Alia Iacta S. Timor, and everyone in the guild has earned the title Conqueror of Makeb B. Did it again. I'm just giving up. I'm channeling Heather now.
Wow, honey.
I know. For MFN this
Ooh.
week, we are gathering on Makeb to take a screenshot of all the new conquerors before heading to the pub side to do normal shenanigans. I'm just giving up now. It's easier. In more guild news, Mega has moved to Saturday nights. Last night, Marcus led everyone around the galaxy to kill world bosses, which Tabby had scattered out ahead of time. If you've ever wanted to acquire the lucky title and the unlucky title, just come with Marcus and Tabitha one fine Mega night to Corellia to kill the world boss Lucky. In game news, BioWare is conducting a screenshot contest for the first time ever. They're looking for landscape-style shots from 10 specific planets. If you have a golden shutterfinger or have a favorite spot, jump in and take the shot. Rules are posted on sotor.com, but if you drop into our Discord, we can toss you a link. Submissions must be in by October 5th. The top 10 winning entries will be made into decorations that they can put in your stronghold. The winners themselves will get a special version that have gilded frames.
Awesome. So that's gilded G-I-L-D, not G-U-I-L-D?
Yes.
Just checking. And we do have a correction, guys, because Kaz did remind us. DOA is not dead on arrival. It is Dojo of Awesomeness. So thank you so much, Kaz, for
That's
correcting that. Our brains were not working. Seems to be a theme tonight. And, all right, in ESO news, last Friday's MFN was spent killing the world boss in Craiglorn. Fun was had, and high bridges were all jumped off. A 4-person dungeon team has formed. ACDC runs Monday nights and is working their way through clearing all the instance dungeons on normal and veterans, and they're currently being led off by the Mistress of Cliffs, Dankinia herself. MFN activities happen every week and involve either zone clears, daily dungeons, and or public dungeon clears.
And over in Star Trek Online, there's a new ship bundle, Starships of the Line Steam Runner. Includes 3 starships, Tier 1 Blockade Runner, Tier 5 Blockade Runner, and the new Tier 6 Appalachia Blockade Runner. That's very specific. The Appalachia will also be available as a solo purchase, available in the Zen store October 1st. Also, there is a 20% off Starship sale until Monday, tomorrow, and bonus to Lithium until tomorrow. Also, upcoming OS and DirectX support changes. Starting February 15th, Star Trek Online will no longer support systems that are running Windows 7 or DirectX 10 or older. Probably so they can do some of the newer stuff with DirectX 11 or 12, I think we're on 12. Also, Fleet Action Report will highlight the voice actors that joined STO in 2020 during their show on Monday night at 11 p.m. So tune in for that.
Awesome. All right. And with that, let's get back to Mailong and Ducks and find out what's going on in Lotro.
Oh my gosh, a lot's going on. We just got some really cool stuff that we can hype.
Please do.
Right now, they did this last year, so they decided to bring this back again. If you go into in-game, into the Lotro store in-game, use a redeem code Lotro Quest 2021. That will give you all the current quest packs. That's not the expansion packs. That's all the quest packs. All this stuff where if you're free to play, if you're a preferred someone who's not paying for the subscription, or someone who's not VIP or lifetime VIP, put that in. You get everything except for expansion packs, which, except for War of Three Peaks, is also on sale for 99 Lotro points apiece. And that is through November 30th of this year.
Nice.
Go ahead, Dex.
Well, it's a pretty good sign that when they end that event, I think we're going to get really close to the Fate of Gundabad coming out. Last Friday's video with Cordovan, we have the pre-purchase going live tomorrow for Fate of Gundabad. They're going to do an Ultimate Edition, a Collector's Edition, just like they did last time. And once you purchase it, the items will go live in the servers at that time. So that's big. So tomorrow is going to be get out the credit card day.
Right.
Yeah.
Add to cart.
Yep.
Which also with that, we will, we're supposed to learn when Fate of Gundabad will go live. So getting excited about that. That'll be at noon Eastern tomorrow is when you can get that. And that'll be in the Lotro Market, which is not an in-game store. But there's also some new stuff coming, which is why I've been on my Bjorny lately. Because they're saying it'll be around middle of October sometime where we will get update 30.3, which will bring the new class, which is the Brawler class, which I've been playing on the test server on Bullroar. Super fun class. It is melee. They don't use any weapons. They use a glove. So it is strictly melee. You fight with your hands and a beer
Nice.
stein.
Nice.
So it's super fun to play.
So is it glove main hand, beer stein offhand, or vice
Yeah.
versa?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
But
that's awesome.
it-
How does it play?
it plays really well. They're still working on, balancing it out with the other classes, but it plays really fun. It has a couple of AoE stuff, but it's one of those where if you want to jump into the middle of everything and just punch everything like an idiot, that's the one for you, which I definitely have to roll one up.
Now, question, because I remember this from way back when. Is there still leveling your weapons?
Yes. The legendary items can
Yes.
be leveled up, but they're actually doing major changes to them in the same update that the Brawler will be released.
Ah,
Yes.
That's 30.3 for the Brawler also.
okay. Because I was wondering if you're going to get a legendary glove and a legendary beer stein.
Yes. Yeah, yes, you will.
Oh, that's
which-
awesome.
Only the finest of
With the
beer
leg-
inside there.
With the changes to the legendary system, the way that it works now, which I agree with the changes that they're making, because the way it works now, the soonest you can do it is level 45. You can start going into Moria, start that off, and you get this. They say, "Hey, here's this really cool weapon. You need to take it to the elves to figure out what it does." Do that, and they really talk up this weapon. But then, until you get to level 100, you have to constantly switch the weapon about every 5 levels
Right.
to really stay current.
Yeah.
So here they say, here's this really cool weapon, but it's only going to be good for about 5 to 7 levels.
Kind of like WoW Legion and its legendary and the artifact weapon we had. It was good for that
Right.
expansion. That's it. Sorry, done.
And then all that
Yeah.
time and energy you spent. Bye bye.
Yep.
Exactly. Which the new one is you get it and it levels up with you.
Excellent.
Is unlocked along the way
That's great.
with you, and it's level gated on what you can unlock. And you can swap out the stuff to make it better. And some of it is going to be crafted. Some of the stuff you can put in there will be crafted. All sorts of different ways where you can get it. So here you're getting this legendary weapon, and it is legendary, and it can stay with you, which is awesome.
Very cool.
And one nice thing about the new system is that, I was able to get a first stage weapon, which is the best that you can get usually in the game. And then it's basically sat there like that for quite a while. I can do a little bit to it. I can level up the legendaries themselves, the legacies. But the new system will actually give you these things called traceries, and you are adding them, as Malin said, you're adding these to their different socketed items that, as you go, the weapon unlocks. So, I went through third age, second age, first age weapons, and I would break them down as I went.
Yeah.
Because the next one, third age, break it down, get the right properties, break that down, take that, carry it to the next third age weapon. And after a while, it was pretty tedious, and we did it for years. So this new system now, at least you still carry that one weapon, but you're not constantly breaking them down like a disenchanter in WoW.
That's awesome.
Yeah, which one of the things that I know I'm going to be waiting on my main character is they're saying that you can freeze once 30.3 hits, you can lock your legendary weapon in place. You can still use it, but then you should be able to get the equivalent of stuff to have something somewhat close to it. Well, here
Gotcha.
I've spent years leveling up and getting it to the max level and getting it fine tuned. So I'm gonna hold off and see what it's doing with other characters that I haven't spent years
Right.
working on my legendary weapons.
That makes sense. Yeah, or somebody that's new that's just leveling up to to 100 now. When they get there, it'll probably be a nice bump in damage or whatever for them.
Well, with the one that's coming with the new legendary weapons, you're not. It's supposed to be where you won't have to constantly change out your weapons.
Oh, right. Yep.
So you're going to have the same one from level 50 on.
Yeah.
Unless you're like on a minstrel where, okay, I'm going to DPS while I'm out running solo, but if I'm in a group, I'm going to be the healer. So you might need two different ones with that.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
They've removed, like when you would first get a legendary weapon, third age, you're going into Moria.
Mm-hmm.
You could get something like, for me as a captain, it would have 2 or 3 stats built into it. And depending on what the item is, they could be relatively worthless to your build, but you're stuck with them. You can't really do much to change it, and it's there. The new system now has everything socketed. So if you're going to be tanking, you get a tank tracer, I believe it's called, or you get a damage-based one for your type of class. So everything now is modular.
Nice. Very
That's
cool.
great. That's really useful. That gives you a lot more versatility.
Well, sounds like the SWTOR method.
A little bit, yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, so, I mean, with that, I'm really looking forward to that. One of the things that's, believe it or not, they're doing something that's not really popular that's coming. Go figure.
The game
Weapon
company is saying it's
swapping,
not popular?
Yeah.
Yeah. With the way it is now, while you're in combat, you can swap weapons. So if you're on a champion or something like that, you can swap weapons all depending on what you're going up against. Well, they're going away with that, and they're saying, we're not sorry about it. It should never have been in there. So
That's the thing that I've seen in other games where it's never been a thing, and some that like it's been a thing, but it's been real quiet. Like I can see that being kind of overpowered to change what's going on. Just go, okay, we're doing something else.
Yeah.
When I play my burglar, I'm yellow line, so I'm a trickster. People want me to switch to my legendary items that are set just for one skill that lasts for a limited amount of time, but give that to the raid group, and then swap over to another set that
Yeah.
helps me with putting tricks on.
Right.
That makes
And
way
so
more
then-
sense.
Yeah, I can understand why they're doing it. It is not a popular decision, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I mean, if you think of it this way, they probably would rather you not have to do that, and so they're probably going to find some way of combining the two, so it's one weapon to do all of it. Yeah, that's the hope.
Yeah.
So one ring to rule them all?
Pretty much. Because
One ring to find them.
yeah. And in the darkness bind them. WoW. Yeah, because I think wasn't it WoW Classic Mew and Burning Crusade stancing?
Mhm.
You know, we had macros to switch between Fury and Arms or throw on a shield, do something, and then, you know, go back to your DPS.
I want to say even trinkets could do it, because like you
Yeah.
do different trinkets for different parts of the fight. You
Right.
pull up a defense trick when you know you're about to get hit with something big, and you switch it over and get your DPS trinket, and that's why it had like a cooldown and whatnot. And
Yep.
yeah, but that's you know it's interesting, but it's also, some people consider that tedious. And that's why they may be wanting to get away from it. So yeah, because because you can do it, you're required to do it. That's kind of like,
Yep.
Right, right.
Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of game companies trying to simplify things and getting rid of that because that's the thing is, if you can do it, the community expects you to do it. That's just how.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And
See,
you can
but
run
that's why I'm on a ranger. So I'm away from the fights. If it comes to me, then well, it should never have come to me. In the
Right.
first
Yeah,
place.
Exactly.
something's wrong.
The group is down and there's a problem.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, if the ranger's at close range, there's an issue.
Yep.
Hmm.
What were you saying, Ducks?
No, I absolutely agree. And yeah, once they start getting to the range DPS, the raid's over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
It's like, all right, just wipe it. Just wipe it.
Yep. Alright. And so
Let's see, what else? I know one of the questions with the new legendary system that I have a question with is the bridles, which once you're around, I think it's around level 75, you can get a war horse, a mounted combat horse, which brings up,
horse.
it brings up a completely separate action bar. And in theory, when they brought it up, really good in theory when they brought it up with Riders of Rohan.
Mhm.
But then it completely got ignored after that.
Oh,
They haven't done anything with it, so it's not popular because it hasn't been touched.
Yeah,
And because
Cordy had
that's
said
still
in the last meeting that it is very unpopular and they know it. And so that's a sign. When you're
Yeah,
seeing
that
it,
is.
Yeah.
into it.
So with that whole area, because I love the Rohan area, it's nice and spread out. Which I'll admit, when I went through Rohan on my main character, I tried to do the mounted combat. I'm like, yeah, this is way too hard. I'll just stay in here and they'll come back to me
right.
rather than me run around the whole map trying to attack this thing on a horse.
Lots of kiting in Rohan. Even when
Yes.
it went live, it was because you had so much open space and you'd have 12 people on horseback. You know, you've got one person trying to theoretically tank on horseback, and the rest of us are chasing around trying to keep and healing them. You know, it's like, no, clockwise, go clockwise, or you're throwing everybody off and you're going to die.
Right.
Yep.
Now imagining people doing this, like trying to figure out what direction clockwise is.
Yeah.
Because I just had to.
We used to have the tanks just kind of go off, and sometimes they go straight, sometimes they go off wherever, and it's like, no, if you get on the other side of the building, you're out of range.
Right,
Not
right.
helping.
Not where we needed you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, anything else?
On Treebeard, which is the slow legendary server that
Uh-huh.
AIE is on, this Tuesday we can get a kin house.
Oh, awesome.
Yay.
So that is really awesome because we had to wait till we get a certain level, which is gated by time.
Right.
So it's a 3-month wait from when you create the kin till you can get the kin house. So Tuesday is the 3-month period. So
basically, anybody who's on that server needs to show up on Tuesday to help you all move in.
no, it'll be once I get the kin house, I'll post it in the Lotro channel. Hey, this is where it is, and then I'm gonna open it up for anybody who's in the kin. Feel free to decorate it because it's gonna
Sweet.
be wide open.
Nice.
Very cool.
So
Awesome.
right now we're just waiting on 12 o'clock tomorrow so we can see what the rewards are and all this other stuff and when we can get the fate of Gundabad.
Awesome. Okay. So any other Lotro news to share? Awesome. All right, well, that is our show for tonight. While the chat room begins suggesting titles, we want to thank Mailong and Doug for joining us. And I know, Mailong, you mentioned that you're currently Twitch, you're doing Twitch streams. Where can we find you guys? In and out of game? What are you, where are you at?
You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Mailong Arrow Shield. Spelled Arrow Shield spelled exactly how it sounds. There's a whole backstory to that. And one of these MFNs and my Twitch, I will tell that story on
Awesome.
the backstory behind Arrow Shield. I stream Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights, which I will be streaming here in a few minutes as soon as I jump over to Curse of Strahd.
Awesome.
Yay.
Yay. All right, and Dux, what about you?
Well, if anybody needs anything in-game, just message me through the in-game system or through Discord. That's it.
Awesome.
Alrighty. If you have a question or comment about our show, you can email us at podcast@aie-guild.org. You can follow us on Twitter. The show is at AIE Podcast. I am at the Mewcow. Makala is at Cyberwaith.
Words are hard.
Yep. Tetsemi is at Ivory Tiger. We record live with video every other Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You can join the chat room and play along with us at our website, which is aie-guild.org/podcast-live-stream. And our Discord server for chat is at aie-guild.info/discord. For past episodes, you can see them on our YouTube channel, which is YouTube and then the AIE Podcast. Our theme was composed by the amazing Andrew Allen. Follow him at Keys of Soul or visit his website at andrewallenmusic.com.
And now it's time to play all of the great AIE member segments we received this week, including, well, none this week, but like we said, if you're interested in putting together a segment, generally under 2 minutes, and send it to us, and we'll get it on the show.
All right. Mailong plays Report to Barovia. Mailong plays Report to Barovia. Next time we'll be talking to. Well, we have an idea of what we want to do. We'll let you know if it pans out. So until then, AIE. This is Makala,
This is Mewcow.
This is Tetsemi.
and this has been the AIE Podcast.
Yay!
Yay! Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Yeah, and chat room is on fire
No
with
problem.
these.
Enjoy
Holy
it.
crud!
Yep.
Yeah.
Where did that go? There we go. I dumped willpower. Still kills me.
I'm gonna have to tell James about that. that Joe's dumps that made the
Podcast? Yes.
Canterbury giggle.
That's funny. So, all right. So, Dux, Mailung, you guys get to pick the show title. Chat room. We're gonna go ahead.
What
And
do you
Thank
think,
you,
Doug?
guys.
I'm gonna go ahead and cut the stream. Thank you for joining us. Bye.
Thanks for having.